I told my family that if they gift us money for our wedding, there will be no strings attached, or we will politely decline it. My fiancée Emma and I had been engaged for 6 months when my mom called about wedding planning. She was being super sweet, asking about the venue and dress shopping, but then she dropped the bomb. "Your dad and I want to contribute $20,000 to help with costs," she said. I was shocked because my parents aren't exactly loaded. They're comfortable, but definitely not throwing around that kind of money. I thanked her like crazy and told Emma right away. The next week, though, my mom started texting me daily. First, it was about the guest list, then the flowers. Then she wanted to know why Emma's family was only contributing half as much. I brushed it off as normal mom behavior until she showed up at our apartment unannounced with a 3-ring binder full of wedding ideas. "Since we're paying for most of this, I think we should have some input," she said, flipping through pages of venues I'd never seen before, all way fancier than what Emma and I actually wanted. We'd picked this cute little outdoor spot by a lake, nothing crazy expensive, but Mom had pictures of these massive ballrooms with crystal chandeliers. Emma was being polite, but I could see her getting uncomfortable, especially when my mom started talking about the guest list like it was her own wedding. She wanted to invite her entire book club, people I hadn't seen since I was 12. The final straw came 2 weeks later. My dad called and said they needed to talk about the wedding budget in person. Emma and I drove over, thinking they wanted to go over vendor costs or something normal like that. Instead, my mom had printed out a whole wedding timeline and seating chart. She'd moved the ceremony from 4 p.m. to 2 p.m. because it worked better for their friends. She'd changed our DJ to some guy who played at their church events, and she'd somehow contacted our caterer and upgraded the meal package without asking us. "Mom, what is this?" I asked, staring at papers that described someone else's wedding. "Well, honey, when you're spending this much money, you want to make sure everything goes smoothly," she said. Like that explained completely taking over our wedding planning. Emma finally spoke up. "Mrs. Patterson, we really appreciate the help, but this isn't what we talked about for our wedding." My mom's face changed immediately. "Emma, dear, I think when someone is generously helping to pay for your special day, maybe you should be a little more grateful." The room went dead silent. My dad was staring at his hands. Emma looked like she wanted to disappear, and I was seeing red. That's when I realized what was happening. The money wasn't a gift, it was a purchase. They were buying control of our wedding with their $20,000. I took a deep breath and said exactly what I was thinking. "You know what? We appreciate the offer, but we're going to decline the money." My mom's mouth actually fell open. "Excuse me? If there are strings attached to this gift, then it's not really a gift. It's you paying for the wedding you want, not the one Emma and I want." She started sputtering about how ungrateful we were and how they were just trying to help make our day special, but I stood my ground. "Here's the deal. If you want to give us money as a wedding gift with no strings attached, we'd love that. But if you expect any say in our planning because of it, then we'll pay for everything ourselves." My dad finally looked up and nodded slowly. "He's right, Susan. It's their wedding." My mom was furious. She didn't talk to me for 3 weeks. But eventually she called and apologized. She admitted she'd gotten carried away and just wanted to help make our day perfect. In the end, they did give us $5,000 as a real gift with no conditions. Emma and I had the exact wedding we wanted by the lake with our close friends and family. And my mom actually told us afterwards that she loved how personal and intimate it felt.